She says, but some people didn't like the roller coaster. They liked the merry-go-round. But to her, it just went round and round. The same old sights over and over and over again. She goes, I like the roller coaster. And she walked out. If I said to you, you're gonna work as an orthodontist full-time, because your goal is not that, you wanna retire, and when you do, make sure you rode the roller coaster, okay? Yeah, it's not always fun, but boy, when it's fun, it is the best, and you get a whole lot more out of it than the merry-go-round. Hello there, everybody, and welcome to another episode of your 5-Minute Friday. I'm your host, Dr. Glenn Krieger, and today we're going to talk about the amusement park. Now, this past weekend, my Orthopreneurs RD group met in Dallas, and we spent 2 days working on case acceptance, how to increase case acceptance, and it was me and Victor Antonio, who's amazing. And we really did a deep dive into sales technique, culture, how to have a better office, all these basic things that we should be mastering. But one of the discussions I have in one of my lectures relates to a movie. I have a clip from one of the movies that I really love. It's a movie called Parenthood with Steve Martin. It's legitimately 30 years old. If you're a parent or considering being a parent, well, if you're considering being a parent, maybe don't watch it. But if you're a parent, you'll laugh out loud at some of the things that go on in this movie. But there's a scene in it at the very end. Now, Steve Martin and his wife, I think it's Mary Steenburgen, I think, they have some kids, and one of them is just, he tries to play baseball and he just can't. And, he's a bit of a failure in that respect. And, they're talking about having another kid, and Steve Martin keeps talking about the fact that, but what if? What if they fail? What if it's not going to happen the way they want it to? What if things don't turn out the way they want it to? And that's when the grandmother, I think played by Lillian Gish, who's since passed, who was one of the Academy Award level actress, old lady in the movie, probably in her 80s. She just walks in and goes, when I was younger, Grandpa used to take me to the amusement park. Steve Martin just dismisses that as like, yeah, thank you. Thank you for that little anecdote. I appreciate that. But she continues, and she says, I loved going to the amusement park with Grandpa, and oh, how I loved the roller coaster. I would get on the roller coaster, and it would go up, and it would go down, and it was so exhilarating, right? It would scare her and excite her, and she was amazed at how excited and scared she could be at the same time. She says, but some people didn't like the roller coaster. They liked the merry-go-round. But to her, it just went round and round. The same old sights over and over and over again. She goes, I like the roller coaster. And she walked out. And they both understood the message. And this is the message I'm trying to make to you today. You have a choice in life. You can choose the roller coaster or you can choose the merry-go-round. The merry-go-round is what a lot of you have chosen. You built a practice, got to a certain level, and now you go round and round. You don't put the extra effort in. You don't work any harder. It is what it is. It's sort of, you're doing your $2 million a year, let's just say, and, you're happy and complacent. And somewhere in the back of your mind, you're not really complacent. You wish you had more. You wish you could take more time off. You wish you could make more money. You wish you had a better staff. You wish. The merry-go-round just goes round and round, and you never really change the scene. Whereas me, I've always loved the roller coaster. I'm willing to take the fear, the exhilaration, because I know how much fun it is. I couldn't imagine life without the roller coaster. And yes, I recognize that we're all built differently. Some of us, like myself and many people I know, are built to enjoy the roller coaster. We don't mind those wicked lows because we know that there's going to be incredible high points. If you told me that, I was going to be on a merry-go-round all the rest of my life, a lot of the joy of what I live for would be gone. I like the idea that what's coming tomorrow is a little unknown, but it does require a lot of work and energy and effort, and sometimes it's going to fail, and that's okay. And when it fails, it's going to fail miserably sometimes. You're going to put on an event for the community, and 2 people will show up, and you know what? For those 2 people, they have a great event, but learn from it, move on, and make something better. Sometimes you're going to hire somebody who has a very high upside, and they bomb, but you know what? You learn from that. The key at the end of the day is, do you want the life that you've always imagined? If you do, chances are you're not going to get it on the merry-go-round. You're going to have to get on the roller coaster. You're going to have to take some chances. You're going to have to sort of think outside the box a little bit. And for me, that's where the real joy is, right? Because let's be honest, most orthodontists today, I'm not talking about the Gen X generation or even before the Gen X generation, where working for the rest of their lives as an orthodontist was who they were, right? We all know them. They work till they're 80 years old as an orthodontist, and maybe they've done other things in the community, but they're the orthodontist, and that's all that really mattered to them. The overwhelming majority of people who've graduated in the last 20 years, that's not all that matters to them. And most of you listening, if I said to you, you're going to work as an orthodontist full-time, until you're 75 years old, like the other generations have, you'd laugh at me or scream at me, because your goal is not that. You want to retire, and as I say, that's the reason why the OSO DSO world has done so well, and we'll talk more about that in another podcast. But my point is, you're going to want to end it at some point, and when you do, make sure you rode the roller coaster. Okay? Yeah, it's not always fun, but boy, when it's fun, it is the best, and you get a whole lot more out of it than the merry-go-round. Hopefully, this resonates with you. I'm always here for you if you need anything. Please consider coming to the Vanguard meeting in February in Los Angeles. It's going to be unlike any ortho meeting you've ever been to, because it's designed around what you need personally. And you're going to have the opportunity to help others while they help you. And I guarantee it will be the most impactful ortho meeting you've ever been to in your life. It's going to be hard to explain what it is until you've been through it. But trust me, we've already tested it, and people are telling me that they've never been so impacted in a positive way. If you've trusted me on the things I've done for you in the past, trust me when I tell you, it's only 96 doctors, 12 tables of 8 that I'm going to run with Victor Antonio, and it's not a mastermind. It's so much more than that. For 2 days in LA, and best of all, everything's going to be recorded so that we can create 90-day custom design plans for each individual based upon the conversations they had over 2 days. I'm telling you, if it doesn't change your life, I'll give you back every penny. Go to opvanguard.com. Can't wait to see you there. Much love to each and every one of you.